It's Freddie Freeman back with another video, and today is going to be 39 through 20. It's going to be part 4 of part 5 of 5 parts in this series. Today is going to be 39 through 20. There's a lot of good prospects on here, a lot, again, that I've mentioned in my last 2 videos that will benefit from the possible 35-man roster. So with that, let's start this video. Mitch Keller, top Pirates prospect. I think it's pretty obvious where he's starting the season. I think it's going to be with the major leagues, the Pirates. Logan Gilbert, he was in Double-A last year. I think he will start the season in Triple-A this year. Ian Anderson, top Braves prospect, starting pitcher. He's probably going to be really good for the Braves once he is called up. I think he will benefit from the 35-man roster, like a lot of the other players. And I think he will start in AAA with a 25-man roster. With a 35-man roster, I think the Braves are going to try him out as a 6th or 7th starting pitcher. That may sound a little crazy for a 35-man roster, but if you figure you've got 14 pitchers usually on a 25-man roster, and if it's a 35-man roster, there's got to be probably 2 to 3 more on there. Grayson Rodriguez, one of the better Delmarva pitchers last year. He's in the Orioles organization. Any Orioles prospect, I think, could benefit from the 35-man roster possibility, considering it's a bad team for one, and it's a bad team, and lots of people could benefit on a bad team, because a bad team, some major leaguers that would be in AAA or AA with better teams like the Dodgers or the Braves or the Yankees or whoever. I think he is going to start in Single-A Advanced, though, with him being one of Delmarva's better pitchers last year. I think he'll start with Single-A Advanced, but I do think he will end the season with Double-A. Next is a Giants prospect, Marco Luciano. I think he's going to start with the Augusta Green Jackets. I'm pretty sure he was in short season last year. I think he's going to start with Augusta, and he's a shortstop, and I think he'll do pretty well there. Next is Spencer Howard. As much as the Phillies, as bad as their pitching is, they may need him to go on the opening day roster if there's 35 people that are going to be on the roster with this Arizona plant. And they have some bad starting pitching, and Spencer Howard's a starting pitcher. I'm pretty positive. Next is Sean Murphy, 33. That's a prospect number. I think he's going to start with the Oakland A's. The A's, they don't really have a good catcher, and I think Sean Murphy would be a perfect fit to just start as a starting catcher for them. I think he'd be the perfect fit. 32 is Alex Kirilloff, AAA. Don't know a lot about him. 31, Riley Green, Single-A Advanced. 30, Alex Baum. He was actually supposed to be like a main trade piece if the Phillies were going to get Chris Bryant or Nolan Arenado or one of the top third basemen. But since they didn't, I think he's going to start the season in AAA or MLB. I predicted MLB, though. I think he's going to start the season in the MLB. Gene Segura's projected as a starting third baseman right now. I just don't see that happening because Gene Segura is not a third baseman. He's a second baseman and shortstop, and that's it. He's not a third baseman. So that's the main reason why I put him at MLB. Next is a former Asheville tourist at number 29 is Brendan Rodgers. He was with the team in 2016. He actually was better in like the years after that. He was better in those years than he was with Asheville Tourist. But I did see him play. 28 is J.J. Belatti, double A. Next is 27, Luis Patino. I think he's the number 3 or number 2 prospect in the Padres farm system. I'm going to say he's going to start in AAA. Next is Drew Waters, AAA Gwinnett. I actually saw him when he played for the Rome Braves in the South Atlantic League. He was with AA Mississippi Braves last year. He's a really good prospect, number 2 in all of the Braves farm system. And AAA Gwinnett is where I think he's going to start. Christian Pache, he's not on here. That's not the next player. But I think Christian Pache is probably going to get the call before him, just because he had some time in AAA Gwinnett last year, and Drew Waters' highest level was AA Mississippi. 25, C.J. Abrams, single A advanced. 24, Matt Manning, AAA. The next ones are probably going to be on a major league roster to start the season, I think. Next is Dustin May. He's a really top prospect, and I think he's going to start the season with the Dodgers. I think him and Brusdar Graterol might be fighting for a spot on the Dodgers roster. I think if it came down to Brusdar Graterol and Dustin May, I think Dustin May would probably get the call up to the majors. Now next at 22, Sixto Sanchez. I think he's going to be starting with the Marlins. The Marlins, their starting pitching is not very good. And I think they need somebody. They've got Sandy Alcantara, they've got Jose Arena, and that's really about it as far as starting pitchers. So I think Sixto Sanchez would be a perfect fit on as like the 3rd or 4th starter for the Miami Marlins. Next we have top Nationals prospect Carter Kieboom. He's probably going to be the starting third baseman for the Nationals, let's face it, because they lost Anthony Rendon. It's looking like he's going to be the person that's going to be the new third baseman for the Nationals. He just like Alex Bohm was going to be a made trade piece for a top third baseman in the league like Nolan Arenado or Chris Bryant, which I think for the Nationals it would have most likely been Nolan Arenado that they would have been trading for. Next is number 20, Michael Kopech, MLB. I think he's going to start the season with the White Sox. I think he's going to be like a 4th or 5th starter for them. I'm not going out and saying that he's going to be like an ace for them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that he's probably going to start the season as a 4th or 5th starter. I think he will be pretty good next year, or 2020, if there even is a season. He was injured all of last year. Even though he was optioned about a week or 2 ago to the Charlotte Knights, their AAA team, I still think he might not make the opening day roster, but I think you could definitely see him as a 4th or 5th starter for the White Sox in the 2020 season, once again, if there is one. That's the end of the video. We did 39 through 20. Tomorrow is going to be 1 through 19, probably the one all viewers have been waiting for. By the way, this list is on MLB.com, so if you want to see who the players are, MLB.com, top 100 prospects, type it into Google, you should be able to see it. That's the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and tomorrow will be 1 through 19.